Hello, good people of YouTube, Mountbatten here, and today we have a message from the devs from the development blog concerning basically what is an update to the big promises that they made to us after the big fiasco last year. And they kind of give an update on each section of what they said and what they were going to do. They talk about what they've done and what they still plan to do on certain issues. So we're going to look at what they say and we're going to look at what they've done in game and see if everything lines up, and also talk about what they say they're planning to do in the future, because there is some news in here as well, some new news as well, some very exciting news too. Alright, so I'm going to read straight from the dev blog. I'll give my 2 cents at the end of each section. If there's any relevant images or artwork, I will throw that up on screen as well. As always, I encourage you to read these dev blogs for yourself, so the links to them will be in the description down below. Well, to this one at least. This is only a single dev blog. Alright, so it starts out, important message for the World of Warships community. Captain, 6 months have passed since we first told you that the World of Warships team was changing course toward being more open and more attentive to your feedback. Today we're going to tell you about the changes and improvements we have made. Random mechanics. One of the most important milestones of the previous year was the disclosure of drop chances for Black Friday and Santa gift containers, as well as for all the other containers that appeared during that time. Detailed information about drop chances is collected in one place and can be found on this page. We added a warning about the nature of randomness and the need to approach purchases soberly. Players also now need to confirm that they are at least 18 years old to purchase containers in random bundles. One of the upcoming game events is a new auction in which you will have an opportunity to obtain a rare ship. Oh boy, I'm just going to put that on screen. The distribution of the ship is through an auction will give you the ability to replenish your collection. At the same time, the battle balance and situation combat will remain almost the same since the lots are not numerous. Alright, so the random mechanics, they have very much disclosed the drop rates for all containers. Like we went over last year, I said I'd be surprised if they actually did get them out in time for the Black Friday and Santa gift container event. And even in their announcement, they said that they were planning on doing this over the course of the next year, but they got it out in time in just a couple of months. Granted, it's not the most difficult thing to do to disclose drop rates, but they actually went above what they said. They got it out sooner. They said these are the drop rates for these containers, and now they're doing it for all the containers in the future, which is a great thing. They did add a warning about the nature of randomness to any purchases you make, including containers or random bundles. And this is something that I said in my video talking about how you improve the current gambling situation. They did add in a step where you have to confirm that you are 18 by simply clicking a box saying I am 18, and that really is all you can do on the internet as a private company, short of asking for people's driver's license and IDs, and even then you'd have to be networked into governmental databases and stuff to make sure that these driver license and IDs are correct information. That's not super easy for a company operating out of St. Petersburg to get, but that is really all they can really do online, and they did it. And anytime you go to buy a random bundle or random container or anything like that, you have to confirm that you are 18. So that is a good thing. That's a thing that a lot of players ask for as well. The auctions, I'm perfectly fine with the auctions, because you know what you're getting into, you know what you're bidding on. You set the amount you feel like it's worth putting up for a set item, so I'm completely cool with that. So with the random mechanics, they've done a really good job on fulfilling their word there. Alright, feedback and communication. We have published our plans for the game for the next 6 months. We plan to update the roadmap quarterly and accompany it with Waterline videos and streams. The camouflage design contest for the Averi has recently concluded. Everyone was able to suggest their own camouflage variant for the ship, and the winning one will be recreated in-game after the ship's release. The details can be found here. The Hotfix series continues to provide insights about different people in the World of Warships team and their work on the game. For example, in December, the Hotfix Testing and Bugs episode was released on our YouTube channel. New episodes will follow soon. We have also improved our approach to Q&A on the official Discord and shared some insights into graphics developments by answering your most popular questions. Recently, we extensively covered our work on submarines in the development blog. In that article, we shared a lot of information with you and outlined our further plans in this area. At the moment, submarines need additional tweaking. Will not be available until updates. Will not be available in updates 11.0 and 11.1. They should be coming back in 11.2 if that timeline keeps true. The distribution method for new ships are one of the most interesting topics for our gaming community. We have returned to publishing news on the topics regularly, and will do our best to keep you informed about the upcoming ships. Fresh news can be found in this publication. Alright, the feedback. The feedback has gotten a lot better. We have gotten a lot more in-depth development blogs, especially with submarines. They've broken out the spreadsheets of the graphs. They've explained the decisions behind every single the reasons behind every decision that they've made regarding submarines, especially recently. And regardless if you like submarines or not, it is very, very, very refreshing to see them explain this, because beforehand, not with just submarines, but other ships, they'd be like, yeah, we changed the reload on the Marlborough from 32 to 31 or whatever. I'm not saying that's the actual number, just saying that's what we would get. They would give no explanation behind it, and that's it. They have been a lot more open about that. And again, even with what they're doing right here, they're giving us updates on what they've said that they've done and what they're planning on doing. I really like the roadmap stream that they did, that they explained, what they're planning on doing in the future, in the next 6 or so months of the game. They did, make it very clear this is all just kind of ballpark. Again, it's a roadmap, it's not a locked-in place, but they've been very open, and I gotta give it to them there. The hotfix series. Speaking of hotfixes, apparently there's a bug where the DPM booster skills, so like BFT and Fearless Brawler, are not working. Or they're not working properly because the tick rate on the servers is too low. So if you were to go into a training room and take something like a Cabrosk or a rapid firing DD or a light cruiser that has access to skills like that, it's not working. The game says it's procking, but it's not really procking. If you hold down your mouse for a set period of time, you do the math, or just say hold your mouse down for 30 seconds and then come back again and put the skills on your commander, hold your mouse down for 30 seconds, the same amount of shells that you fired in those 30 seconds without the skills is the same as with the skills, when it should be for DDs, if you take BFT and Fearless Brawler, it should be 15% more because your gun should be firing 15% faster. That's bugged. So I'd love to see some news about that, Ouija, and how you plan to fix that. Apparently it's server tick rates, which it's what the problem is, but it's gotta get what is a better server connection or better servers in general, or you have to up the tick rate, which means again better servers. I don't know. I'm not into networking and anything like that. I just know that that's apparently the problem from the messages I've gotten so far on Discord. But anyway, so I'd love to see some information about that, and hopefully they will talk about that. Against submarines, like I said, they did a very good job of explaining the changes to them in the past couple of dev blogs. The distribution method for new ships. Now, this is something that is a little strange. They said that every ship that's going to be available for, they said for like coal or doubloons, there should be an alternative way to get them if they were like an event ship or something. But now with the Dalian being released, that's the second high tier premium ship that's not for coal, not for steel, not for free XP. It's just straight up doubloons. So, yeah. I mean, again, it's a premium ship. It's out there for doubloons. It's not locked behind a paywall or something. So there is that, but it's more high-tier premiums that they're just outright selling. And I'm not a big fan of that. Alright, so the next section, I do believe the last section, yep, they do talk about what lies ahead for us. So they say, we are constantly looking for new ways to make the game more diverse. In update 11.1, you have the ability to try out a new battle type, dirigible derby. Your mission is to delay the hostile airships while also making sure that your allied airship is the first to reach the destination point. We're working on aircraft carriers. We carry out regular tests to check different hypotheses and ideas, including those related to the mechanics of ships detected by planes. However, there's a big difference between testing something in a super test and implementing a full-fledged solution that can solve some of the current issues. We're working on various aspects of aircraft carriers, and we'll keep you updated about possible changes. We're ready to share information about Huron status. The ship's 3D model is currently being checked for errors and fixed before it can serve as the basis for a game engine object, a ship with all of her settings implemented. And the Huron is, of course, one of the ships that I believe Little White Mouse and Chobitsu proposed be added in for Canada Day. They were told that it's would have to be a completely new game model, that it wouldn't be able to be done in time by the devs, so that was a no. But then after everything happened, they said, okay, we'll look into putting it in, and lo and behold, we now have the 3D model that's, according to Wargaming, it's being done, it's being checked now to where they can start working on the ship itself, which is great. Nice to see that they are following up on their word and adding in a ship like the Huron. Now, do know that to model these things, they've released videos on this before, and this takes hundreds of man hours to model these ships, and you can see that in game. The ships in game models are the newer ones especially are really nice, really high detailed, and as you can see from the Huron model here too, it looks very nice and lots of nice detail. I'm getting my sickly brain to focus. I'm still sick if you can't tell by the sound of my voice, like I talked about in yesterday's video. But yes, nice to see that they are following up on the Huron. Also, they say, very soon we will share the latest results of balance changes for Zal, Petropavlovsk, and FDR, some of the hottest topics when talking about game balance. We have made some progress in creating a new map inspired by the Faroe Islands. The general layout is ready, and our artists are currently enriching it with details and improving its visuals. We are planning to release the Faroe Islands on the live server by the summer. Here are some images there. I gotta say, some of these images look really good. The two at the islands, they look nice, but the iceberg one, it almost looks real. And I know it's an older game, but some of the stuff that the art department can pull off looks fantastic. Now, I gotta give it to them here. This looks really nice. Now, we'll see what the general layout is, of course, where the islands are at, where the caps are at, and will it be a good map one way or another, but it certainly will be a very nice looking map if these early pictures are any indicator. We are constantly working on improving our communication with you. No considerable change is possible without mistakes. Not everything has been perfect during these past months, but we will continue to work on it, improve our processes, and strive to perfect our skills. In conclusion, we'd like to thank you for both constructive criticism and your support. Criticism allows us to identify our shortcomings, and your kind words help us understand when we are on the right course. We will continue to keep you informed about our plans and important updates. See you soon. So, overall, they have done a very good job of saying, hey, this is what we're going to do, and then doing it in most cases. Of course, there have been some missteps in some cases, like I talked about with the Pan-Asian Cruiser event. They went and they put the Jinan or whatever, the Tier 9 Pan-Asian Cruiser, they went and put that back in the random containers. I don't like that. I hate that they did that, especially after having two events where they didn't do it at all, and those were great events, the Soviet CV Early Access event and then the German Battlecruiser Early Access event. No random bundles for the Tier 9 ship, and they were fantastic events. But then again, they went back and did it again, which I don't like. But overall, they've kept to their word, and I would be willing to bet about 90% of what they said. Again, more communication with the dev blogs, fully explaining the reasoning behind the changes. Just a lot more dev blogs too. So many dev blogs. As you guys know, like I always cover dev blogs on this channel, and I've had a past couple of weeks where they've been just solid dev blog videos sometimes because of how many they've been putting out, and I very much appreciate that for being open with us. And again, Random Mechanics telling us the drop chances on the containers, and adding in the precautions about being 18 and all that jazz. And again, I really like that they're being very open with us about this is what we're planning in the future, and here's when about it's going to happen, and then they update us as much as they can. So overall, I would say they are on a very good path now. I just hope they don't fall back anymore like they've done with the Pan-Asian Cruiser event. Again, I really don't like that they put that Tier 9 in that random bundle. And I get it. It's a company. They want to make money, and that's an easy way to make a decent chunk of money from impatient players. And yes, it is your money. You can do what you want with it, but just aggressive gambling mechanics like that, I really don't like that in a game that plenty of people already will enough on this game to where they shouldn't have to worry about funding for quite some time. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about this. I'm very excited for the Huron to hear what she's like. She's a Tier 7 Canadian destroyer, so hopefully they will release her general characteristics and the idea behind her. Shoot, I'm not exactly sure how long it takes for them to come up with the concept for the ship. You know, they could just slap, let's say, the Haida's same characteristics on it and release it as a second Haida. That would be a pretty easy way to go about doing it, but it would be fairly lazy, and, you know, we want these ships to have unique characteristics, especially premium ones. So hopefully we'll hear about what the Huron is like here pretty soon. And again, I'm really excited to finally get a new map with the Faroe Islands this summer. I know a lot of people have been complaining about haven't been any new maps in quite some time, but when you understand the map teams and having to basically remake every single map in the game underwater with submarines, that's what they've been doing for the past year. So hopefully now that that's done, they will be able to start cranking out some new maps because the game is in sorely need of those. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, let me know what you guys think about this announcement and the announced changes and upcoming plans for the game. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And as always, hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.